I just want you guys to know, and I want to let you guys be reminded how good we actually have it. You get into this and you forget and you get spoiled. I am reminded constantly that how almost fake it feels to be in this business. Let me give you an example of why I'm saying this and where I'm coming from. We loaded up the Land Cruiser. Picture the vehicle, that Indiana Jones type, jungle vehicle with the freaking pipe off the front. Kind of looks like I call it an African G-Wagon. We have one of those. We piled that thing up. We put a cooler full of just food because we didn't know we were going to discover. And we loaded everyone in this car and we drove from the capital city, and we drove 5 hours into they call it the bush, 5 hours into the villages, 5 hour drive, limited cell phone service, no restaurants along the way. We drove into the bush and we wanted to go and we wanted to show my brother Porter, him and his wife, wanted to show them the diamond mines, the Kono district. So we took a 5 hour ride out to these mines, and I know because I've been there before, there's nowhere to eat. There's one tiny little grocery store that does not have electricity. You're not going to get a cold drink or anything like that. And you're certainly not going to get ice cream. I just knew the situation. So I know somebody out there that is a diamond dealer. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, can I pay you to cook us dinner? Some local food, some rice, some sauce, some street meat, the whole deal. And that was kind of our only option. And we got this whole thing arranged, and we went to the main city, then went out to a separate village, and we had this entire day, stayed at this really janky hotel. It was awesome. And we went to dinner with this guy that's a diamond dealer. And he literally goes out, and for 30 years, this guy has lived in this country, and he goes out and he's got 20 employees. He's got hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. He's got generators. He's got tractors, these belts that you put the dirt on and it kind of shakes it all the way to the end. And then he's got people doing the manual work, and they've got holes here and water there. And I mean, it's a thing. So we're sitting at dinner, and we're asking him about the business, and you hear about diamonds, and it sounds like this really sexy business because dude, diamonds are forever, right? Ask Kanye. And he starts telling me the particulars of this business, and he's telling me about his day-to-day, and his son is in town from the UK telling me about his day-to-day, and he's telling me, there's so much going on. He's like, my dad's literally there, and he's yelling at this guy and screaming at this person and doing this, and it's like, he's telling me about this. I'm just getting stressed out thinking about this entire freaking thing going on. And then he tells me, he's like, there are times of the year when it costs me $1,000 per day just to be, just to operate. $1,000 per day just to keep the lights on, just to keep things moving. So do a little math. According to Google, a calendar, if you take all the 31-day months and the 28-day whatever, it's the average month is 30.4 days. So go 30.4 times 1,000. Do the math. That's what it costs him just to stay in business. Just to stay in business. And I'm sitting over there, and he's asking me about what I'm doing, and I'm like, and by the way, this guy works every day. Every day, he loads up his lunch, he drives an hour into the bush, and he goes and he shouts out orders, and he does this, he does it. That's not to mention the fraud. That's not to mention the freaking people that steal his diamonds. That's not to mention the people he has to pay off. That's not to mention the equipment that breaks down. This is just to stay in operation, $1,000 a day. And then he's sitting there asking me about what I do, and I'm like, I almost feel embarrassed to tell him that I wake up in the morning and I sit under the AC when the electricity's there. But when it is, it's great. With this amazing view, with my Coke Zero, which sometimes is cold, sometimes it's not. And I peck away at my keyboard. I do a couple phone calls. I have some VAs and some team members throw up some words on a website on this thing called Weebly.com. And I make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month doing it. I quite honestly didn't have the heart to tell him. I made it seem like I just kind of brushed it off. I couldn't. I'm like, dude, you just got done telling me about all these things you go through, and I know I'm doing better than you. And the dude does well. He's got a couple houses and he's traveled and the whole thing. But this, guys, it reminded me as I'm sitting there how good we actually have it. We can sit, we need a computer, we need a Wi-Fi connection, and we need some freaking hustle. And we need to know what we're doing. But with those things right there, you don't need that much money. You don't need to go and get an office. You could do this from anywhere. As you guys can tell, I am in the master bedroom at my rented place here in West Africa. When I'm in the US, I work from my office at home or by my pool, or sometimes I work out here. We get to work from anywhere. We need a computer, we need Wi-Fi, we need some hustle. Keep that in mind.